Welcome to Quick Recaps, your go-to podcast for thrilling story breakdowns. I'm your host, Jake, and today we're venturing into the gripping world of Alien 3, the iconic science fiction horror film. Join us as we delve into the suspenseful journey of Ellen Ripley and her battle for survival against the relentless Xenomorph threat. With a riveting plot, unforgettable characters, and heart-pounding moments, this recap has all the thrills you need. Let's begin. The film begins with a dramatic and unsettling scene as the massive starship Sulaco hurtles through the cold, dark void of space. On board, the survivors from their mission to the distant planet LV-426 are in a state of hypersleep. Among them are Newt, the young girl who Ripley had grown close to, Corporal Hicks, the brave Marine, and of course Ripley herself. The android Bishop is also there, but in pieces, as he was damaged in their previous encounter with the deadly Xenomorph creatures. As the ship races towards Earth, an unexpected and horrifying event unfolds. A stowaway alien egg, hidden away on the ship, hatches, and a facehugger emerges. Struggling to free itself, the facehugger inadvertently smashes a glass tube, releasing acid that ignites an electrical fire. The ship's automated systems detect the emergency and initiate a cascade of events. Amid the chaos, the ship's medical scanner detects the presence of the facehugger attached to one of the figures in the hypersleep chambers. Unable to control the fire, the ship's systems make a desperate decision, ejecting all the cryotubes, including Ripley, Newt, Hicks, and the remains of Bishop, into an escape pod. The pod hurtles through space, its navigation leading it to the closest celestial body, Fiorina 161, an isolated penal colony operated by the infamous Weyland-Yutani Corporation. The escape pod crash lands into the cold waters near the prison colony's shores. An eerie, desolate landscape surrounds the crash site. Dr. Clemens, one of the colony's inhabitants, stumbles upon the pod and the mysterious figure on the beach. Ripley. She's barely clinging to life, covered in mud and insects. Clemens takes her into his care, and he quickly realizes the dire situation they're in. As the colony's prisoners use oxen to retrieve the wreckage of the escape pod from the water, Warden Andrews, who governs this unforgiving penal world, sends a message to the company, reporting the crash and the supposed deaths of Newt, Hicks, and the android Bishop. Ripley is the lone survivor, and she's rushed to the prison's infirmary for urgent medical attention. The prisoners, called the inmates, work to haul the wreckage back to the prison using a massive crane. A tense air hangs over the colony as Mr. Aaron, Warden Andrews' assistant, gathers the inmates for a religious prayer session. In this bleak world, religion is a source of hope and solace. Still, there's a problem. Their belief system strictly adheres to male exclusivity, and the arrival of a woman, Ripley, challenges their fundamentalist beliefs. Warden Andrews does his best to maintain order, and insists that a rescue team from the company will retrieve Ripley within a week. However, as the prisoners express their unease about having a woman on their premises, it's clear that the tension will only grow in the days to come. The situation is a powder keg waiting to explode, and Ripley is at the center of it all. After regaining consciousness, Ripley finds herself disoriented and distraught. Learning about the deaths of her comrades, she is inconsolable. She becomes determined to examine the wreckage of the escape pod, and with Clemens as her guide, she explores the colony's dark and complex history. Clemens informs Ripley that he discovered a mysterious barcode on the back of his head, but he is reluctant to share the full truth of his past. As the two grow closer, they begin to develop a romantic attraction. Meanwhile, the colony's inmates struggle to accept the presence of a woman among them, especially when their religious faith dictates celibacy. As Dr. Clemens conducts Newt's autopsy, he finds no signs of impregnation by a facehugger. Still, he uses the risk of infectious diseases as a pretext for performing the procedure without the warden's approval. When Warden Andrews and Mr. Aaron discover the unauthorized autopsy, they question Ripley's motives and order her confinement to the infirmary. But they eventually agree to her request to cremate the bodies of Newt and Hicks to avoid a potential cholera outbreak. Within the dark corners of the prison colony, a sense of unease and impending doom begins to take hold. Two inmates, Murphy and Frank, prepare to slaughter an ox while discussing their frustrations over Golic, another inmate. During this tense moment, they discover a dead facehugger. The horrors are far from over, as they soon find that their troubles have only just begun when an alien bursts forth from a dead ox in the kitchen. As chaos unfolds, Ripley starts to realize that her own life is in grave danger. It becomes clear to her that an alien embryo is growing inside her. Desperate to confront her nightmarish fate, Ripley ventures into the labyrinthine confines of the prison, searching for the alien. Unexpectedly, she discovers that the creature, sensing the queen embryo within her, does not harm her. In the face of such a horrifying revelation, Ripley loses faith in the company's supposed rescue. She determines that she must take control of her destiny and confront the alien on her terms. A daring and dangerous plan begins to take shape, led by Ripley and Dylan, the spiritual leader of the inmates. However, Mr. Aaron, who still holds out hope for the company's rescue, resists getting involved. The prisoners reluctantly agree to join the plan, but as they try to lead the alien to its doom in a massive molten lead mold, the situation quickly spirals out of control. Several inmates fall victim to the creature. In a last-ditch attempt to contain it, Dylan remains within the molten lead, promising Ripley a quick death once the alien is destroyed. But the alien bursts forth from the mold, furious and unstoppable. In a desperate bid for survival, Morse helps Ripley escape, while Aaron and other inmates are wounded. The company's medics and soldiers finally arrive, with Bishop 2, a human designer of the android Bishop, assuring Ripley of her safety. But Ripley, having lost all trust in the company, refuses their offer, convinced they have ulterior motives. As the tense standoff unfolds, the wounded Morse and Aaron face the company's medics and soldiers. Bishop 2 pleads for the opportunity to study the alien. Still, Ripley knows better and activates the fire sprinkler system, causing the alien to burst into flames and meet its fiery demise. Dylan, confined within the lead mold, uses the sprinkler system to baptize Ripley, aware that the alien embryo inside her will protect her. The Weyland-Yutani team departs from Fiorina 161, confident that they've wiped out all evidence of the Xenomorph threat. As the survivors of the harrowing ordeal contemplate their futures, a shocking twist awaits. Inside Ripley, the alien queen embryo has one last dreadful surprise. It gives birth to a new creature, a grotesque hybrid that is part human and lacks the queen's reproductive abilities. In a final, profound moment, Ripley embraces her newfound maternal connection to the creature. Together, they fall into the fiery furnace, ending their lives and annihilating the last remnants of the Xenomorph threat. The film concludes with the eerie shot of the escape pod's recording being quietly scrutinized by the company's medical team, leaving us to wonder about the dark secrets that remain hidden in the depths of space. That wraps up our quick recap of Alien 3. We hope you enjoyed this journey into the depths of space and horror. Don't forget to subscribe for more exciting recaps of your favorite films and shows. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, happy listening.